What's up, y'all? This your boy Gerald Jackson from the North Carolina Beat. Thank you so much for tuning in tonight. An Atlanta rapper, Dess Dior, her father, 51-year-old Darrell Lawrence Bailey, is in the Henry County, Georgia jail right now with no bail. Police say that he raped a 14-year-old girl in his home on in February of last year. And I have the 14-year-old victim's mom right now who's going to talk about this story with me just a little bit. Hello, Alexis. How are you doing today?
Hi.
Yes. It's so sad that we have to be meeting and talking on this spectrum where this man right here, Darrell Lawrence Bailey, who is charged with raping your 14-year-old daughter, aggravated sodomy, aggravated sexual battery, statutory rape, and aggravated child molestation. But first, before I get into asking you how you and Darrell met, how is your daughter doing?
Um, she is okay. She's strong. She
Yeah,
is very strong. I
yeah,
She get it from me. She's strong.
yeah,
That's all I
yeah,
can say.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we are definitely praying for her and we are in her corner. Nobody
Oh,
else but y'all. I'm in y'all corner.
that's right.
And thank you so much for allowing me to tell your daughter's story. I know how it is when people have money or they have power, they think they have power and they think they can get away with stuff like this. But then you see the baddest blogger around the corner and he stops you right in your track with people knowing who you really are. And so I just want to thank you so much for coming on. Can you tell us a little bit about, and let me just say this to the public, there are things that we will not discuss because it will be discussed in trial. It is so disgusting what this man allegedly did to her daughter, and I refuse
Yeah,
to repeat it.
that's right.
Um, I just refuse to repeat it. Miss Alexis, when we spoke a couple of few days ago, you were really emotional and, we were talking fast, I was talking fast, and we just got our date a little mixed up.
Mm.
And we now know that you did not originally meet Darrell in 2022. You met him in 2020. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yes. Well, at the time I was living in Savannah, Georgia, and I
Hmm.
applied to the Home Depot warehouse
Right.
and for as a forklift driver.
Hmm.
And that was also a forklift driver. And
Okay.
so
Okay.
upon working there,
Hmm.
he noticed me and
Mm.
he approached me and he was interested in me. And he asked me out and I told him, listen, I can't go out with you because I have a boyfriend.
Right. Right.
But we can become cool, we
Mhm.
can hang,
Yeah. Yeah.
we can talk on the phone, we could do all that. Just to build a friendship. And
Right.
he was like,
Right.
okay, like that. And
Hmm.
so things went on. So, like friends do, we text and things like that. We even hung
Hmm.
out. We
Yeah.
partied together.
Yeah.
He partied
Yeah.
with my friends and things like that.
Mhm, mhm.
And
Wow.
it wasn't until maybe like in 2021 is
Okay.
where he came to me as a
Mhm.
friend and he needed to borrow some money.
Mm.
And I went ahead and I gave him some money, like a
Right,
friend should, and he paid me
right.
back, you know.
Yeah, okay, okay,
It was,
okay.
yeah, it was totally
Mhm.
fine. He paid me back.
Yeah.
And then he expressed to me about in 2021,
Mhm.
22, I take it back.
Mhm.
In
Mhm. Yeah.
2022
What is it?
is
Okay.
where he expressed that he was moving to Atlanta.
From
And
Savannah.
I was like, oh
Mhm.
wow. I was shocked
Yeah.
or
Right.
whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then he told me he was moving because he wanted to start producing again.
Mm.
Yeah,
Okay.
start producing. And so he wanted to get that career off, you know, and
Well,
running
right.
because he was just on BT, the impact with his daughter. So I said, okay,
Mhm.
that's cool. You should go for it. And he
Right.
said, next is I want you to come up here and visit me. And I said,
Mhm.
sure.
Right.
Whenever I
Right.
get time, I'll come
Yeah.
and visit. No
Mhm.
problem. Like that.
Right. Right.
So
Right.
this is in 2022. So I decided to move from Savannah, Georgia to
Mhm.
Ohio and move in with my boyfriend.
Okay. Okay.
Um,
Okay.
and it was in October. Yep,
Mhm. Mhm.
October 2022.
Okay.
So upon me moving to Ohio, me
Mhm.
and my boyfriend at the time,
Yeah.
we had a really rough relationship. It
Mhm.
was just everything going wrong. And I
Yeah.
started seeing the signs, and I was like, and I was with him for 3 years. So it
Wow.
was like
Yeah.
during Christmas, it was during Christmas in 2022 is where I decided, you
Mhm.
know what, I'm done with it, done with this
Right.
relationship. I'm
Oh,
pack up everything
yeah.
with my kids, and I'm
Mhm.
bouncing. I'm going back home to Savannah
Right.
because I just
That's
couldn't
right.
take it no more.
Right.
You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah. Yeah.
he was just a little bit too much. But anyway, so I'm packing up my stuff from this brand new apartment that I had got. I
Yeah.
mean, I had just got that apartment. I only
Yeah.
paid the first month's rent. I was
Wow.
in one apartment and I
Mhm.
moved out of that one and went to another apartment. In this apartment that I moved to, like I said,
Mhm.
I was only in there for a month.
Right.
And
Yeah.
I told the landlord, listen, I'm sorry, I gotta go.
Had to go.
And when I
Mhm.
was in Ohio, I was there. Me and my kids, we didn't have no family.
Yeah. By
He was the
yourself.
only people. He was the only person that I knew
Mhm.
besides his family and his friends.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
when you have somebody that's abusive mentally and emotionally, you just got to get up and get away from.
Yeah. You got. Yeah. You do. You do.
Yeah, you do. So, and that's why I left Ohio and I went back to Savannah.
Wow.
So, in the midst of me moving, going back to Savannah in 2023,
Mhm.
um, I was supposed to go into like a shelter type
Yeah.
thing, you know,
Yeah.
where they help,
Right.
women. And when I went there, it wasn't what she explained to me what it was going to be
Mhm.
on the
Mhm.
phone.
Right.
And it was them type of places I was like, I'm a red flag went off. It's like I can't
Yeah.
live here
Right.
because two
Right.
other men was living there. Two
Right.
other men. It was gonna
Yeah.
be me, the only female with my kids, and two grown men that I didn't even know. And I was like, oh no, I'm
Yeah.
not. No, I'd rather
Uh,
sleep in my car
yeah.
than to live here. I can't do it. So I told her, no, no, thank you for the offer, but I can't do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Wow.
so in the midst of that,
Mhm.
Darrell called me. And he was like, and I told him what happened. He knew
Mhm.
what was going on with
Right.
my boyfriend at the time because I was letting
Yeah.
him know.
Yeah.
But
Facts.
so he decided, he was like, listen, Lex, he was like, I have a suggestion. You can come, you and the kids can come live with me. And I was like, for real? And
Yeah.
he said, yeah, you can come on. He's like,
Yeah.
that'd be good because you can continue to work on your career and you can help me with my production company that I want to start,
Yeah.
And he was making all these plans. And he said, you could be on the back burner just helping me. We can help each other. We can
Right.
grow.
Yeah. That's a
And
fact.
I
Yeah.
said, I said, you know what? That sounds like a good idea.
Right. Right. Right.
Let me tell you something about Darrell. Darrell's met all my sisters. He's
Okay.
met most of my friends.
Yeah. Wow.
And he displayed to be a great guy.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
when I met him, he didn't first off come at me and tell me that his daughter was famous
Right.
or he had famous cousins,
Yeah.
in the industry, in the music industry. He didn't come off like that. And when
Yeah.
he told me this, I was like, okay, that's cool, that's cool.
Yeah.
I was a
Yeah.
starstruck or nothing like that. I'm not
You
that
don't
type
like.
of person.
Yeah. We ain't that. Yeah. Yeah. We.
I just look at them as another person. They bleed like I bleed. You
Yeah.
understand? So
Yeah. Yeah.
So I was just grateful, that I had somebody in my corner that had my best interest at heart. That I thought that
Oh.
had my
Yeah.
best interest at
Yeah.
heart. And
Right.
so, um, at that time, I had an ex-husband, and he even met my ex-husband.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah.
And when he came all the way from Atlanta in his
Mhm.
Mercedes and picked
Mhm.
up me and my kids. And we went to my storage and we grabbed some stuff out of storage and put it in the car and we
Mhm.
headed to his house. And my
Yeah.
kids was okay with him because over the years they had been meeting him.
Right.
And they
Right.
knew we were just friends.
Right.
Okay.
Right. 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 Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's that's like my mom, she can't do women. Like she can't do a bunch of girls. She got a lot of guy friends or whatever. So yeah,
Yeah.
I get where you're coming from. I definitely understand that.
Yeah. I've always had a lot of guy friends and female.
Yeah.
I have some female friends, but
Yeah.
I just always stuck to men.
Right,
Not
right,
to
right,
be
right, right.
it,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Most
you know.
definitely. Wow. So you come back from Ohio after this issue with this guy that you were dealing with after moving up there to try to, give it a chance. And they always say you really don't know a person until you live with them. They always or until you in a relationship with them. Then you be like, now, as a woman, you don't let me move me and my kids up here, and you gonna do us like that. So I got to go back to where I know somebody.
Yeah.
And you come
Yeah.
back, and then having a hard time there, basically have nowhere to go.
Yeah.
So, Darrell opens up his home to you. So you get there, you get to Atlanta, and I remember you mentioning that he had borrowed money once in the past, but then when you got to Atlanta with him, it was like it was
Yeah.
still going
So
on.
right. So let me tell you, when I got to Atlanta, um, okay, one thing about him, he used to call me baby. So he'd be
Okay.
like, instead of calling my name, he'd be like baby.
Yeah.
And we didn't want to get the kids confused because, like I said, we was friends.
Right. Right.
So, so we came up with this idea. He was like, okay, listen, you come live with me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm only gonna charge you like $1,000.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, like that.
Okay. Right.
And I was
Right.
like, okay, that's great. I can find me a job. So he was like,
Mm-hmm.
I can help you find a job and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
And he put my fingerprint on his door, and he put his fingerprint on the door, and my daughter's fingerprint, and one of my
Mm-hmm.
sons.
Okay. One of your sons.
Um, yeah, yeah. So all four of us had a fingerprint.
Okay.
And I know this wasn't mentioned in the article. I believe his mother did too.
Yeah. Okay.
But
Okay. Okay. Yeah, we try to keep it just we the fact is the
yeah,
motherfucker is in jail with rape charges, and goddamn it,
right.
that it was me that wanted to get a little bit of background
Yeah,
about how you guys met into how we got here. That's all. So, but again, motions were high, and we were, trying to, I was trying to talk to you during a time of still, dealing with this. You're never gonna, get over it, but you'll get through it. But when talking about it, this is your baby. So
yes,
of course, um, little things like the data when you met him 2022, and then the key stuff, yeah, we missed that out because we had so much going on, but we got the gist of the story. Like, we got what we needed to put this story out. We got the receipts, basically.
yeah,
So definitely, so you guys had the fingerprints, and I know he took those out. We're definitely going to get
the
uh
picking him up.
into that.
But let me
Go
just
ahead.
let me just tell you. So with living with him,
Mm-hmm.
it was ordinary. He
Okay.
got up and went to work every day.
Mm-hmm.
Probably like off on the weekends.
Okay.
Only did extra overtime on
Mhm.
the weekends and things like
Right.
that.
Right.
So he helped me get the kids in school and
Mm-hmm.
things like that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I found my own job. I
Yeah.
kind of found it real quick and right
Right.
away.
Right.
And so it was like, but on the weekends I wanted to go back home. So me and the kids to pack up. And
Yeah.
every time I was going off on the weekends, he was like, "Yo, can I borrow some money?"
Right. Yeah.
He was like, "Okay." In my mind, I didn't ask him,
On top
but in
of
my mind, I
I'm
was
sorry to
like,
cut you. Right. I'm sorry to cut you off, but so he was asking to borrow money from you every time you gotta go out of town, on top of what you were giving him a month to stay there.
"Yeah, yeah, yeah."
Wow.
He was, and I thought it, and I was like, I kind of like shoved it off, like, Lexus, don't even ask him about it. Like, maybe
Right.
I don't know,
Right.
maybe
Right.
it's extra stuff. I don't
Right.
know.
Right.
I wasn't thinking of why he was doing it, but
Right.
it was
Right.
done. Yeah,
Wow.
yeah,
So you, your 14-year-old daughter, and
hmm
your two boys, right?
yeah.
Okay.
And
How old?
I have three boys,
Yeah,
but
yeah, yeah. Right. Yep. You have three. But at
yeah,
the time that you are
it was
right. So how old were your boys
ooh, 7.
at the time?
Yeah, because he told me that 7 and 5.
Okay. Yep, that's right. You did tell me 5 and 7. Right. So you got a
Fi- uh,
14,
5 and 8.
5 and 8. Okay, 5 and 8. Okay, 5 and 8, 5 and 8, 5 and 8. See, look, we
Yeah, I can't
we
teach
was
because
talking.
my baby just turned 9 in December. He just turned 9
Yeah,
in December. So
look,
whenever. Yeah,
when we was talking earlier, it's so much as you're going to understand. Because when we
yeah.
was talking the first day, it was so much going on. So it's like it's the rape. The man is in jail for rape. That's what you need to understand. Okay. And Dad's been trying to hide it, but we're gonna get to
The
it.
whole point of
Okay.
this, right? But I want to put it also out there that the whole point of this story is
Mhm.
when you think you know a person, you don't really know a person.
Yeah,
You
right,
know,
right.
this is a life lesson for me to say, "Oh, I know somebody." I
Mhm.
don't care if I know somebody for 20 years.
Mm-hmm.
At the end of the day, you don't know that person, what they do behind closed doors. People keep secrets every day and they'll never stop.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
certain things that they keep to themselves that they know if their family find out, they'll be
Oh,
shamed
most
for.
definitely.
You
Yeah. Oh,
understand?
yeah. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Oh, yes,
So
ma'am.
with him meeting my family and friends like he did, he was genuine. They was genuine. They liked him.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like no red flags came off. Like,
Mhm.
oh my gosh,
Mhm.
nothing.
Wow.
So this, when I tell you, I was so hurt
Yeah.
and it was so shocking, like
Yeah.
super shocking. I was just like,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
can't believe this. I can't believe this. I just can't believe this.
Yeah.
I was
Wow.
literally losing it.
Mm-hmm.
I was losing it. I didn't
Yeah.
know what to do. I didn't know how to go about this. I didn't know how to go about that. You know what I'm saying? So basically, when it all went down, okay, I went away 2 hours to a funeral,
Yeah. Okay.
and my kids didn't know these people, so I didn't think
Right.
uh they should be there. But I
Yeah.
did say that I was gonna go back and
Mm-hmm.
get them. So I
Yeah.
called my mother and I told her, listen, you get your brothers and y'all stuff together, and I'm
Mm-hmm.
gonna come get y'all in the morning.
Yeah.
I'm gonna bring y'all to out here with me. Yeah, I think
Right.
y'all have a good time.
Yeah.
It's just things kind of died down at the funeral
Right.
and things.
Right.
And so, in the midst of all of this, in the wee hours of the morning,
Mm-hmm.
he got to her. He literally got to her before I could get to her. Okay. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and she called me and she was scared.
Mm-hmm.
And
You good? Go ahead.
oh, she called me and she was scared.
Mm-hmm.
And she was whispering to me the whole entire time. She told me details about
Mm-hmm.
and so
So let
my
me
two
just
hour
get this, let me
drive.
just get this right, Mama. So you were out of town for the funeral, and the after the funeral, whatever, that I guess that
Mhm,
night, whatever, you text them, it was like, listen, I'm coming to get y'all, so
mhm.
have your stuff packed. But early that morning of the day that you were supposed to get them, he got her at 5 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
And when she called you, it was after he had
Mm,
allegedly raped her, right?
yeah.
And at that moment, that's when you was flying back to Georgia. Okay, because I want people to understand that you were not on the phone during the time of the rape, because that's some of the things that
No,
I saw, but I definitely, cleared that up in the source. So we don't know how they got that kind
right.
of
That
thought.
came
But
through.
yeah. Right. So go ahead. So she called you, she was whispering on the phone
Mhm.
after Darrell allegedly raped her. And let us know, what else did your daughter tell you?
Um, well, I can't really get into so
Yeah,
much
yeah, no,
detail,
no, no, yeah, not that, but she was
but
whispering to you.
she was whispering to me. Yeah, she was whispering to
Right,
me
right.
um about him being there, and
Mhm,
she told me that he had left. I had asked her where he was at, and she had told
mhm,
me he had left to get some pizza. And so I'm like, okay, well, you get your brothers and y'all stay together. I'm
mhm.
coming. I'm on my way. So
Right.
my 2 hour drive turned to an hour and 30 minutes. That's how
Yeah,
fast I was going.
yeah.
And in the midst of all that, I told her, hold on, I'm about to call. I called 911 and
Mhm,
I'm just telling them, I'm freaking out. I'm like, listen, y'all better get a police here to this house because I don't
mhm,
I don't know what I'm capable of,
mhm,
you know.
mhm, mhm,
Um
mhm,
I said, this man just touched my daughter. He raped my daughter. And I don't know what I'm capable of. He
yeah,
ain't there right now. I was told he ain't there. But if I get there and he's there, I just don't know. I just don't know. And
mhm,
they was like, okay, man, we gonna send the police there. Just don't do anything. And I had my family on the line with me too. My ex-husband, my sisters. Lexus, just calm down. Don't do nothing. Don't do nothing to make you lose your kids. Or I mean, just
mhm.
I was just like I said, my mind was all over the place. I
Yeah,
was ready to go ham. I was
yeah.
ready to go
I know.
ham.
Yeah,
Ham.
yeah.
Okay. So I get into the house, I take her in the bathroom and she broke down. She broke down. And then I told her to go back in the room and I said, here, you stay in here with your brother.
Mhm.
And I said, I'll be back. I said, if you hear anything, don't come out. She goes, no, mama, no, 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 mama. Please don't, please don't. And she says, and then she says, and then she no, she grabs me and then brings me in the room.
Yeah. Yeah.
And and me looking into her eyes, I just knew I
Mhm.
couldn't take that step
Mhm.
that was going through my mind. I
Right.
just couldn't because of her. She's like, I
Yeah.
don't want anything to happen to you. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
So in the
Yeah.
midst of all that, that's when the police came and we had to go
Right.
ahead and get testimony, things like that.
S- Yeah. So they were not there when you pulled up. The police
No,
hadn't.
they mm-mm.
And Darrell
Was not there when I pulled up. He was
going to
out
get
getting like
he-
like everything was a okay. Like he
right.
just didn't do the
Right.
most horrible thing in the whole entire world.
Right. What he was going to get he was going to get a DiGiorno pizza from the gas station. I think
Domino, whatever pizza he got, I don't
at
know.
that early in the morning. What time did she call you?
No, he went. This was around. I can't even say.
You can't
No,
even say yeah.
no, I can't say.
But but this is the thing. I mean, predators are crazy. Okay. I mean, you don't rape this child and allegedly rape this child, and
Mm-hmm.
you're going to get some pizza like ain't none happen. Nothing
Yeah.
happened. We're not even gonna get into that because the details are just too gruesome. So the police get there. Henry County Sheriff's Office pulls up. And
Mm.
so what do they do when they get there?
They just do their investigation. They gather all the information that they need to see
Mhm,
if there's a arrest going to be made and things like that. So in the midst,
mhm.
me and my kids, we go away from the house.
Okay.
We
Right.
do our little thing with the police officers, and
Right.
then I book a hotel room. I don't
Mhm.
go back to the house. I
Yeah.
wasn't going back. The police, didn't suggest that I go back. I was like, I wasn't going back anyway.
Right.
So I got
Yeah.
booked a room, and as I'm at the hotel, I'm like, I'm asking the police officer, did you lock them up?
Mhm.
No, ma'am. And I'm freaking out. I'm like, what? You ain't locked them up yet?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So that night, I knew he was still out
Mhm.
there, doing God knows what.
Yeah.
So then I'm tussling and turning all night in a hotel room. I wake up in the morning, my kids is knocked out sleep. Even
Right.
yeah. And
Yeah.
so I was so frantic and mad and angry
Yeah.
that I got on Facebook Live
Yeah. Yeah.
and
Mm. Mm-mm.
oh my God. I
You went
broke
in,
down.
sis.
I
Yeah.
went in. I went ham.
Yeah.
I broke down. I was talking about how can they have him still out? Why they ain't come arrest him? Like I know he did it, all type of stuff. And I was just saying stuff that I shouldn't have said.
Yeah.
And people that know me was like, Lexus, calm down. This not you. This not you, and things like that. And then next, I just like, listen, y'all, I got to get out this hotel room.
Yeah.
My hotel, I can't afford it. It's
Yeah.
it's too expensive. I can't afford it.
Yeah.
After me giving all my money to Darrell, and I
Mhm.
had just got a job, my money that I had saved was running thin.
Yeah. Yeah. And then
So
you have three, you have and then
yeah,
you have three kids that's living with you.
yeah, yeah,
And you're having a job, and you already know how people are when you're leaving kids in a hotel room by themselves. The people
right.
that work there don't understand. I'm a single
Well,
mom.
because of what happened, I had lost
Yeah.
my job. I couldn't even go back to work. I had
Wow.
just started the job, and I kept calling back every day. It was like, listen, I can't come to work. That's because I was too afraid to
Yeah.
leave. I wasn't even thinking about no job. Bump
Yeah.
that job. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? I wanted to be around my kids.
Yeah.
I didn't
Yeah.
want to leave them nowhere.
Yes,
You get what I'm
ma'am.
saying?
Yeah.
So that next day,
Mhm.
that following day, I received a call from one of the police officers that
Mhm.
made the arrest, and he was like, he's
Mhm.
arrested, and I was like, oh, thank you, Jesus.
Yes. Yes.
Um,
Yes. Mm.
I was like, thank you,
Wow.
and
So go no right. Go ahead. No, go ahead. Go ahead.
so he told me that I didn't have to go back to the house, or I can to get your things, whatever you decide. He's like, you could stay here.
Mhm.
He suggested, yeah, whatever you want to do,
Mhm. Mhm.
take your time, whatever you want to do.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
I decided to
Mhm.
go and start packing up my things. I had a
Yeah.
lot,
Right.
you know
Right.
what I'm saying? So I ain't had no furniture left. nothing
Mhm.
like that, but I had other stuff. So I started
Yeah.
packing up, trying to make phone calls, seeing where I could go next,
Yeah.
you know.
Mm.
And so
And
this
people won't understand that until
hmm
you're in the position.
right.
You don't know what a mother
hmm
and her I mean, you just don't know until you're in the position. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But go ahead, go ahead, go ahead.
So that morning, he had got locked up.
Hmm.
Um, before
Good.
I even went to the house, I had a moment to talk to my daughter, and I said,
Yeah.
"Listen, if you don't want to go back to the house, I'm not gonna make you.
Hmm.
If I gotta drop you off somewhere, and then I go back and pack up,
Hmm.
let's do it that way." And she was like, "No, mom, I want to help you." She said, "It's okay. It's okay." I said, "You sure?" She said, "Yeah."
Hmm.
So because of her strength, she was able to walk in that house,
Hmm.
even though it was a very traumatic experience. And she was able to help me pack and help and because I had two young sons, they can do but so much. So
Yeah.
here I am figuring out, just trying to sit there and figure it out. Me
Yeah.
being a 6 months. So now I'm thinking, oh Lord, I'm homeless. I'm
Yeah.
homeless now. This is
Yeah.
not in the plan. This is not in the plan. So um later on that night, Dess Dior comes with her assistant
Hmm.
to the house, and she asked me, "Can you explain what happened?"
Hmm.
So I did. I told her from beginning to end what happened. And then she ended up talking to my daughter. And my daughter told her from beginning to end what happened.
Yeah.
Her and the assistant. And in the midst of all that, after it was all said and done, she told my daughter, "Well, I'm sorry what happened to you."
Hmm.
And she expressed concerns, and she told her that she did the right thing by telling.
Hmm.
Okay, which is great. The issue that I have is you seem so genuine,
Hmm.
and my daughter thought you wasn't. I thought you was genuine. After it was all said and done, my daughter was like,
Hmm.
"No, she's
Yeah,
not
but you
genuine."
could tell how she was. You could
Yeah,
you could tell with the. So you know
yeah,
how
she
they.
was.
I
Yeah,
mean,
I thought she was being genuine, but my daughter said when she sat there and talked to her, she felt like she wasn't.
right,
It was
genuine.
just the way she was looking at her.
Because
And
she's a
so,
daddy's girl. She's a
yeah,
daddy's girl,
yeah,
Miss Alexis. So her
yeah,
daddy is she's a daddy's girl. So she
yeah.
whatever daddy says, oh, what else she gonna say?
So, and that's when it hit me that
Mhm.
when the following day, now the following day, um, I was like, okay. She was like, "Mom, I just want to go to school."
Mhm.
I was like, "You sure?"
Yeah,
I was like,
yeah,
"No, no, you don't got to. You
yeah,
don't got to. No, don't do that." And she's
yeah,
like, "Yeah." She said, "Please, I just want to get my mind off it." I said, "Okay, all right." I let her go. And so that gave me time, to do whatever I had to do in the house.
yeah.
And then I let my boys go to school.
Mhm.
Okay. And so next you know, I hear a knock on the door. It's her. It's Destiny. That's Dior. And
Mm.
so I walk outside and she goes,
You good,
she
mama?
was like, "Hey,
Hmm.
hey, look." She said, "Me and my family decided that we don't want you and your kids staying here in the house."
What?
And I was like, "What? Really? Huh?"
Yeah, yeah.
You know,
Hmm.
at that moment, I was like, "No, this girl didn't.
Right,
Like,
right.
you was just here last night
Hmm.
expressing your concerns, and you were genuine about it, and now you tell me to get out, which she don't know that I was already planning to get out."
Right, right. You was just getting your
She
stuff.
didn't know that because I didn't let her know that. I didn't
Right,
let the family know that.
right,
I wasn't
right,
gonna sit there and tell them when I was leaving
right, right, right.
because first of all, that was me and my kids' safety. I didn't want to just let them
Hmm.
know that.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
absolutely.
I didn't want
Yeah.
them to know if it was going to take a week or if it was going to take the next day or if it was going to take that day. I did not. That was not their business to even know.
Mhm.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Mhm. I do.
Because where the house was, it was in the woods,
Yeah.
off the road.
Yep. It's in the
So
article.
that's another thing I was thinking about. You get what I'm saying? Not knowing who's coming down that road in that
Yeah.
back. It's
Yeah.
only one way in, one way out.
Yeah. And that's
You
the same
understand?
one road. Yeah.
Right, right. And so when she did that, next you know, a police officer come pulling up.
She called the
And when
police on you
yeah, she called the police. And then when
after
she
she
did,
just had came and was like, I'm so sorry this happened to you. And she
yeah,
called the police.
then she called the police. It's just so the police lady, it was a lady officer, she told her, no ma'am, you can't just come on this property and tell her to get out. She said she pay bills here.
Right.
She gets mail here, directly here. You can't do that.
And clothes and
Yeah,
property.
and
Uh-huh.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So her Des and her brother face was like,
Mm-hmm.
what? You mean to tell me I can't? You know? Yeah, I took that picture. I'm the
Yep.
one took that picture right there.
You
Sure
took
did.
that picture, and this is
Mhm.
Dess Dior talking to the
Mhm.
cops after she called them on
Yeah.
this mother. Look at this mom right here. Her
Mhm.
daughter was just
Yeah.
allegedly raped by this girl's dad. And I have to say allegedly
Yeah.
because for legal reasons, but we know the true tea.
So
But
she
yeah,
goes,
go ahead.
Alexis. She says, Alexis, this isn't not about you. It's not about your daughter. It's about my dad and just getting his things. So the police officer said, well, if you want her to go in the house and get anything, you can. But if
Yeah,
you don't have to.
right.
It's
Yeah,
totally up to you.
yeah, yeah.
I am one of the nicest, coolest people
Hmm.
persons you can
You
meet.
are nice. Yes, you are cool. Yeah.
And
Hmm.
so I told her, I said, listen, I don't got nothing against you.
Yeah,
It's not
yeah,
even that serious about this his property inside this home. I said,
yeah,
because I can't do nothing with it. I don't want it.
yeah, yeah.
I said, so I will allow you to walk in here and get his studio equipment.
And he ain't gonna make no hits with it because he gonna be in jail.
I even helped her and the brother
Mm.
take the studio equipment and put it in her car.
Word.
I sure did. I said, "Here, I don't want this. What I'm gonna do with it?
What we? Yeah.
This isn't." So me looking at it, I'm like, if y'all think I'm out for money, I'm not.
Right.
I'm definitely not, honey.
Yeah.
No,
I know
that's not
because you
me.
came to me. I know you're not because you came to me. I
Yeah,
know.
I'm not that type.
Yes.
Not at
Yeah.
all.
Yeah.
No. At the end of the day, you know, it's sad what happened,
Yeah. It
and
is.
it's devastating.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I'm still dealing with the heartbreak because I'm
Yeah.
still heartbroken
Yeah. Yeah.
because,
Yeah.
like I said, it goes back to when you think you know a person, you really don't.
You really don't. Yeah.
You really
Absolutely.
don't. You know what I'm saying? I want justice. I don't want this to happen to nobody else. I don't even know if this has happened to anybody else before, and
Well,
it
let me.
just happened that it
Mm.
coming out now.
Well, let me say this. On the record, I did receive an email from another woman who
Hmm.
stated that she had some similar experiences with Darrell. And remember, I was telling you about a little bit about that earlier today, but I hadn't had a chance to speak to her. But I will be speaking with her to find out what her story is and if she have any receipts like you did.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, wow. Wow. So let me
Yeah.
ask you this. After she got so the police told her there was nothing that she could do. We know that because of Georgia's law, right?
Mm-mm.
But did she try to offer you an apology for even calling the police after she got all her stuff?
No, what she said was, Alexis, can I please go in the house and get my dad's stuff?
What?
Yeah. That's what she said to me. Just like that.
And I do remember that you had made mentions that Darrell was telling you about some deals that BT was trying to give him or something like that.
But I don't know if they was true. He was Darrell expressed to me that he put it like this, oh, I'm gonna be a millionaire before the year out. I said, you are. You are. He's like, yeah, yeah. He's like, listen, I got some hot artists. I done listened to these artists' music and
Yeah,
everything. I done been to some of their houses. We done
right.
been out together. And he was
Yeah,
like, oh yeah, I can't wait. I can't wait. I'm gonna
yeah,
put them out. They're gonna be good. Like, you
yeah,
know?
yeah.
he was excited about it, and I was there for him as a friend, and was like,
Yeah,
"Yeah, let's do it. We
yeah,
gonna ride this train together. Let's come up." You
yeah,
know?
yeah. That's a fact. And there's a lot more artists that he know that we're not gonna
Yeah.
say their name because they don't have nothing to do with the story, but Dez
Right.
does. Okay.
Yeah.
How can you come to a house and you know she knows that her father opened up his house to you and your children,
Hmm.
and to retaliate against this mom and her 14-year-old daughter who your dad allegedly raped, and her 5 and 8-year-old sons, to try to kick them out because
Hmm.
y'all are mad that your dad
Hmm.
allegedly went in this woman's child's room at 5 o'clock in the morning and raped her, allegedly raped her. But according to Henry County jail, Henry County, Georgia investigators, you did do it. That's why you locked up. So you went through a rape kit. Your daughter went through a rape kit, right?
Hmm.
Everything came back,
Hmm.
and police, all forensic evidence, the sheets, the clothes that she had on, everything came back, and that's what led to his arrest. Because I
Led to
remember
his arrest.
earlier,
And
yeah,
that's what led to him not getting a bond.
a bond
Flight
because
risk. He was a flight risk.
it was a flight risk. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to understand, and help me out with this. I'm just trying to
Yeah.
understand. So when y'all were both staying in Savannah and then he moved to Atlanta, that's because Dez, she just really blew up, right? She just
Yeah,
really
she was in Atlanta doing her own thing. He had his own home in Atlanta, and I mean in Savannah at the time, and I had mine at the time.
right,
Yeah.
right. Wow. Okay. So then when she started getting up or whatever, because she was in Atlanta, he moved to Atlanta. Now, when he
Mhm.
got there and he was asking, to borrow money and stuff, which you say he paid back, no problem. But
So
I mean,
yeah, the first time he paid back when
oh,
like before he
oh,
even
this
moved there. But when I
first,
moved to in his home when he was borrowing money from me, he didn't pay me back a dime.
oh,
Yeah.
so but
Yeah.
why? I'm trying to understand. Listen,
I
if
was
I'm a rapper, which I am, because I got two songs out that I wrote myself, but I wrote them myself. But and I'm making money, or just say, I'm where Dez is, right? Why your dad calling this woman
right.
is what happened to the $1,000 that you getting for them staying there? Why are you calling this woman every time she go out of town to
Mhm.
borrow money? And
Right.
from my understanding, the house didn't even that's not even his house. He was renting.
No, no, he was renting that house. See, okay, and another thing was because he was renting, he said, once I find another place, because I was
Mhm,
trying to understand, did he want to move in a bigger
mhm.
place with
Yeah,
me and the kids? Because
right.
that's what we were talking about. And he was going to keep that place and keep it as his home office because his studio it was there.
Right.
So he
Yeah, yeah,
wanted to keep that just as like
yeah. Because
and
it's
I
back off
understood.
the cut.
So
Right.
yeah,
Hmm.
yeah.
Wow. Oh my gosh, that
She
is
did
so
not own
crazy.
that property. That wasn't her
Yeah,
property. It was
right.
somebody else. A
And she
man
had
that
no
got
part.
like 50 property.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
Yeah.
And that's the only way I can look at it, because I
Hmm.
mean, I just don't believe that, for her to have, eh, I'm not even gonna say that, but let me just say this.
Yeah.
I feel like it was retaliation for the fact that she even, although she couldn't do it, but she attempted to do it. It was what she tried to do. But then you sit up on TV and you talk about how good your father is, and you want these people to believe. It's like, girl, you know what your daddy did. It's like you, not that
Well,
you had. Go
let
ahead.
me tell you. Let me tell
Go ahead.
you. I am versatile.
Okay, go ahead.
Think
Okay.
about it this way. Think about it
Mhm,
this way. She's a
mhm.
daddy's girl.
Right.
So to find out something like this is
Mhm,
devastating.
mhm. Right. Right.
She she can't sit there and wrap her mind around it about
Mhm.
believing him.
Right.
Believing that if he didn't do it. She want to believe that he did not do it. She want to believe that I'm lying. That
Mhm.
this is just a publicity stunt, whatever the case may be.
Right.
She just want to believe her daddy did not do that. Because
Right.
this is the most devastating thing ever. I
Mhm,
understand.
mhm,
You know what
mhm.
I'm saying? So she's going to take his side possibly
Yeah.
until he's proven guilty.
Yeah.
You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
Absolutely.
But I feel like this. If it was my father,
Mhm,
if the shoes was turned,
mhm.
I can't go. I just can't. I'm just gonna stay in the background. And be like, no, I can't do it.
Yeah,
You have to prove me that you have to prove your innocence before I could bring my kids around or I come around you. I just
yeah,
couldn't do it from my
yeah,
point of view. You see what I'm
yeah.
saying?
No, I get what, yes, because that's
You see
like,
what I'm saying?
oh, dad, this little girl is saying is why. I mean, they've been knowing you since 2020. Why? I mean, what is going on? And I get that, but my problem is the fact that y'all told her a day before she came back with her brother trying to put y'all out.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
why? First of all, you came on the day he was arrested, right? She came to the
The
house on the
night,
day
that night, yes, that
night,
night he was arrested. Yep.
right? So you knew he did something because the police ain't finna. You know how high the burden is with rape. I mean, I feel like the bar has to be so much higher for the fact of the matter is that to accuse someone of such a crime like this, there needs to be some evidence. It's like you can't
Mhm.
just go out here and say this, and there
Yeah.
was, and how did he even think he was going to get away with that? Your daughter wasn't even that big for you to get away with, or try to get away with, or try to cash a check, because this mother doesn't want money. She wants justice. Everybody don't want money. So cut that bull crap out with, oh, it's a publicity stuff. Oh, she's trying to do this for money. No, we want justice.
I did.
And
I want justice. I don't want
yeah,
nothing on. Because
because God
obviously,
blessing you.
if he had to borrow money from me, what that tell you? He
You
was
was the
obviously
blessing.
he wasn't even doing the right things with his.
Thank you. Thank
Okay, he
you.
wasn't. This is what
Thank
I'm saying. People don't know what's in people's pockets. Just
yeah.
because his daughter was famous, don't make him. Just because
Yeah.
his daughter had money, don't make
Yeah.
it seem like he had money.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
no, it wasn't even like that.
That's a
Mm,
fact. And just because you have a name don't mean you got money. Because
that's
everybody
right.
don't save and everybody don't manage their money. You can get a
That's
million
right.
dollar deal and go to the car lot and buy all your family member cars, and you
Hmm.
broke. Dumb.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know. Um,
Yeah.
so Mr. Alexis, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry that you and your family had to go through this. I have met some strong people in my line of work, and as far as helping families and getting their stories out there. And why was it important for the people to know that your child was raped? Because it does not matter. The news media, anytime someone is arrested for rape, the
Hmm.
news media normally will run
Hmm.
a story about it, whether this person is big or not, because it's a child sex offense, right?
Right.
But for your daughter, they
Hmm.
didn't do this. And we got an idea why, because of the people that Darrell knows, and
Yeah.
can still pull his strings. But then a lot of people that do the same thing a person does is so quick to help somebody. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, oh, you know,
Hmm.
I do it too. You know what I'm saying? They know what they be
Yeah.
doing.
Right.
And but why was it important to you that your daughter child
Hmm.
your that excuse me, your child's story be put out here so people would know what happened?
I just want people to be, especially, well, just not just people. I
Yeah,
mean, single moms too.
yeah,
Just to be aware of
yeah,
who you bring your kids around.
yeah,
It don't matter how long you know a person. You could know a person all your life and they turn around and do something like this.
yeah.
For real. It's happened. Your own family members would do something like this. Like, it doesn't matter. I'm tired of people saying, "Oh, I know him. He would never do that." No, you don't.
Hmm.
No,
That's
you don't.
you don't know.
You
You
don't know.
know. You
You
don't know.
don't know.
Mm, 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 mm.
That's where the line draws at, is that fact that you don't know, because while that person is by himself in a secluded area, you don't know what he doing for real. You don't know what's going through his mind. You just don't know.
You don't know. You
And
don't know.
and addiction comes up, mental
Hmm.
illness come up all of a sudden.
Hmm.
You get what I'm saying?
Hmm.
People suffer with these secret with that type of stuff.
Yeah, they
You know?
nasty.
Yeah, they do.
You want to blame
And
it on?
so
Mm,
and
Woo!
I suffer. I'm still suffering with it.
Yeah.
With as if it happened to me. Like I can see it.
Hmm.
I see it with my eyes open. I see it with my eyes closed,
Yeah.
and it don't make it any better. So it's just to show you whether a person's a celebrity or he's not.
Yeah.
They're capable.
Yeah.
Whether
They.
they're nice,
Hmm.
especially when they're nice
Hmm.
and they're genuine. You think they're genuine?
It's
Yeah.
it'd be something. We can't, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to include everybody in that category with how
Mm-hmm.
she's describing, but because
Right.
everybody's not like that, but they do be like they got a motive somewhere. It may not be this type of motive, but they got
Right.
something going. They trying to get something, you know what I'm saying, out of a
Yeah.
person. I
Yeah.
know, I know a guy right now who's in jail. I'm not gonna say his name,
Mm-hmm.
but at the time, the mom didn't know, and I didn't know, but this guy opened up his home
Mm-hmm.
for this mom and her two daughters.
Mm-hmm.
But he only opened up the home for them to move in because they didn't have nowhere to go. They was homeless, didn't have nowhere to go, was out of town, and didn't have no family. They was out of state,
Mm-hmm.
trying to start a new life. Met this man, known him for I think she said like 6 months. She had two daughters, but he wanted her daughters. He didn't want
Mm-hmm.
her. And he was going into their bedrooms every night, raping them. And I think like
Mm-hmm.
2 weeks they ran away. And then when the mom found them,
Mm-hmm.
um, you know, when the police everybody found them, it was that's what it was. They ran away because, you know, um, they were being raped.
That's terrible. The one thing I thank God is for grace and mercy and strength because I'm glad I instilled that in my daughter. All it takes is one time. Open your mouth. Don't be like everybody else. Let it linger for years and years.
Come on.
Don't do it. It
Come on.
ain't
Yeah.
worth it. Get
Yeah.
justice right then and there.
Now. Get it now. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. Oh
Yeah.
my gosh.
Yeah.
And it's just, I'm just so glad that y'all made it out
Yeah. Yeah.
because I know some people that would have thrown in the towel a long time ago.
Yeah.
But, you know, I'm so happy that your daughter is getting her day in court
Mhm.
and that this man is being held accountable for his alleged crimes. And
Yes.
I just want to say, pull up something real quick. This photo right here is
Yes.
on BET Plus series. What is
Mhm.
it? The Atlanta Impact or the Impact Atlanta?
Yes.
Okay. And this is Darrell on the show.
Yeah.
And he is talking to his daughter, Dess Dior, who wants us to believe, or shall I say, has been acting on social media like, it's not bothering her.
Mhm.
Girl, you can do that all you want to, because guess what? Your
Mhm.
dad is going to court later this month, and a jury, I believe, will have no other choice but to convert. That's what I believe. I believe when they see the evidence, the man that you
Yeah.
sat up on TV or sat in these interviews and talked about is going to jail. And
Yeah.
instead of trying to deny and ignore this, you could do better, and reach out to this family. Just apologize. They don't want nothing else from you. Even if you got to say, I'm sorry for trying to kick y'all out. Apologize. Nobody's telling you to turn away from your dad or turn against your dad because,
Right.
just like all these other celebs support their pedophilia or pedophile or predator brothers and
Mhm.
relatives and stuff, you can do the same. You can do the same thing.
Yeah.
And since you say that your father is such a good dad and,
Yeah.
he's done all things for you, right? Hopefully
Yeah.
he can continue doing those good things in prison for what he did to this 14-year-old girl. Thank you so much, Miss Alexis, for
Yeah.
coming on. Um, thank you. Thank you for allowing me to tell your story. I tell families all the time
Thank you.
that
You're
I
welcome.
don't play about the children because I think about my niece and I think about my nephew.
Mhm.
And when I took this story of
Mhm.
yours, it really did something to me because these are innocent children. And it's all this free booty out here and free
Yep.
penis,
Yep.
and you want to mess with a child?
Yep. Disgusting. A monster. Disgusting.
You are a monster. It's
Yeah.
disgusting. And then
Yes.
you have these grown black women,
Yeah.
melanated women,
Yep.
instead of embracing a black woman, and instead of asking her, what can you do to help her? They want to question her story. This story real.
Yep.
I don't know about any other story you saw, but this one, right? Every story
This
that the
is
North
real.
Carolina beat touches is real.
Yeah.
Well, why you want to go back? Why? How long did y'all stay? It was like one day, right? You packed your stuff
No,
up. How
I
did it
stayed a
go?
couple of days
A couple
because
of days.
I had to figure out where I was going.
Okay, yeah,
Um
yeah, yeah.
just know that I moved far
Yes, yeah,
away.
most definitely, most definitely. And
So
then, and then,
that
and
move
that's
was not easy. It
yeah,
wasn't.
it
But
wasn't easy. Yeah,
no,
because
no.
you're basically going from somewhere to nowhere. Where am I
Yeah,
going? Where
yeah,
this man doesn't borrow my
exactly.
money? I mean, if he would have
Yeah,
paid me back, maybe I would have had
yeah,
some moves or do some
yeah,
things. Oh,
yeah,
I thought it was one day. That was my fault. I was saying one day. I thought it was one day. But it does not matter though, because you all had residency there, still had, and your daughter was strong enough to say, "Mommy, it's okay." See,
hmm,
when you're a single mother and
yeah,
you have kids, especially 14-year-old, because they are really, really smart. They
yeah,
know they know what's going on. They know their mama don't got it like that. They know
yeah,
that mother, she gonna break her back for them. But they
yeah,
also know my mama ain't got it like that. My mama trying to take care of us and do something. They know at 14, they know that.
yeah,
So when she said,
yeah,
Mama, it's okay, we can go back. But her predator is not there. She don't have to worry about him no more. She don't ever
yeah,
have to worry about him no more. Only thing she worry him when she go to trial
yeah,
and put in jail for what he did
yeah.
to her.
That's right. Yeah. So I just want everybody to continue to pray for us
We
and pray
will.
for justice,
We will.
because it's just not right. It's
Yeah.
just not right.
I'm proud of you, Miss Alexis. Thank
Thank you.
you so much for your courageousness. Thank you so much for your bravery. Thank you so much for showing other mothers how to get it done. Because when
Yeah.
your daughter called you, you talked to her for figure out, and you called 911 immediately.
Yeah. And
Immediately.
and that's to save myself.
Yeah.
That's to have a backup to let them know. I
Mm-hmm.
wanted them to hear the
Mm-hmm.
anger in my voice.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
to protect me from what
Yeah.
I was ready to do.
Yeah. And let me say that y'all always crying. Oh, well, call the police. We call them. Well, let me tell you something, baby.
Yeah.
Some families don't want to call the police. They just want to go on and finish the job. Them damn
Yeah.
sick. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? But she didn't
Yeah.
do that
Yeah.
because she had to worry about what was going to happen to her.
And
She
my
had to
kids.
worry about going
That's
to jail.
right.
Yeah, and her children and
That's
them
right.
without having a mom. So you did the right thing.
Yeah.
You did the right thing. But I know some women.
Right.
Woo, baby. They probably would have found old boy in the house dead.
Yeah.
But thank God you called the laws, and he's in jail, and they
Yeah.
tried to hide it. There's
Yeah.
nowhere on the Henry County website, Henry County, Georgia jail website, where you can type in Darrell Lawrence Bailey and find his name. But if you go find another rape
Mhm.
defendant in jail,
Mhm.
they're not going to come up. But they were hiding
Yeah.
um, this man, and
Yeah.
we called and got information about it. And shout out to It's On Site, because it seems like that they actually went and got what possibly should have been shown online, and they show his charges and all of that good stuff. But
Mhm.
uh, he's in jail, been in jail since February of last year. That's why y'all ain't seen her dad, in case y'all was wondering where he was at. He
Yeah.
was in
This
without bail.
happened over a year ago. That's right.
Yeah.
So,
Mhm.
one thing about it, I didn't want to stay in the house, and I didn't stay in the house.
Yeah.
I
I
packed
know
up
that.
my stuff and I
Mhm.
jetted.
Yeah. Well, we coming
Okay.
up on a year, y'all. Y'all know y'all.
So yeah. Yeah.
I don't want y'all. Look, they be hold on. They be trying to misconstrue our words. It's coming up on a year. This mother is still processing this, and she's gonna have to still deal with this later this month. Trial starts when? January 22nd.
Yeah. It's about a week trial.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I'm uh,
I'm gonna try to fly on down there just maybe a
not
day or so, just to
I'm not ready,
support.
but I know I got to do it.
Yeah, yeah, you got
She's
to
not
do it. It's
ready
okay.
either, but we got to do it.
It's okay.
She did one thing. She told me. She said, "Mom, I don't want this to happen to nobody else." And I said, "You right, baby. I'm right there with you every step of the way. I ain't
And
going nowhere."
then these predators, they be looking at how beautiful these young ladies are, and they be looking at all type of stuff, their butts. At you 50 something years, why did you stand at this little girl butt? This is a child. You should not want anything with no child. But they, and I don't know what it is. Why do they want kids? Why do these overgrown ass men want
I don't know.
kids?
I don't know.
I mean, what? And then
The signs was not there. That's the crazy part. The signs weren't there. If
the
anything,
son,
you would think that he was interested in me. You know,
yeah.
it was not there about her at all. At all.
What? I
Yeah,
don't know what it is. And
it's so
then,
crazy.
they be, and like, I think Cardi B said it once before. Some of
Hmm.
these people don't have mental illnesses. They have evil mentalities. Okay. They just want to do
True.
evil things.
Evil
You
things.
know.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to throw that out there in case somebody, defense attorney, try to say, "Oh, he has a medical problem." He ain't had no medical problem when he was on BET, the Atlanta Impact, and BET Plus Series. He had no mental illness when he was, whipping up them, that music in the goddamn studio. Ain't nobody had no mental. We ain't finna be playing with this mental illness stuff. Did you have it then? No,
Right.
you did not, and you don't have it now. You going to jail. Okay. So,
Yeah.
anyways, thank you so much, Alexis, Miss Ellis, for coming
Yeah.
on. Prayers to your daughter, prayers to your family.
Hmm.
And thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you.
You're
God bless.
welcome.